following program is proudly brought to you by A-Line Wheels, Manzi Controls, Big Boss Auto, Bridgestone, Generic Pumps, Liqui Moly, Max Track Suspension, Roof Surgeon, sasafe.co.za, Sphere Marketing and Design, Tricor Signs, Viking, Yokohama, and ZF. Welcome to the inaugural episode of the new Inland Championship show. This show has been a few months in the making now, and we certainly hope that what you see in the next hour will give you a new understanding to the concept of real people, real racing. Coming up on the show today, we'll take a lap on board with Adrien Dalton around the Zwartkops Raceway. Then our panel members will give us an idea of the rejuvenation of the Inland Championship. Liqui Moly will be here as well. They'll give us a little bit more information about the products that they supply to various motorsport competitors. And of course, we'll go into the highlights of the first round of the year at Zwartkops Raceway. It's my great pleasure to welcome 2015 NPC champion Adrien Dalton. Adrien, tell us how you actually got involved in racing.
I sort of finished up in off-road bikes, and a guy by the name of Wayne Haydeman got me involved in the racing, and he introduced me to the modified production car series, which is very good for entry-level drivers, and you can also take it right through to when you're more advanced. That's basically how I got involved.
What was your reason for the choice of joining the Inland Championship and doing your racing there?
Well, the camaraderie, all the help you get from the fellow competitors, it's a great place to learn. You don't have to be advanced. It's a good way to start.
Well, obviously we know that you drive very well and you pedal a very quick car. We're going to take a look at an onboard lap with you, and you can give us a bit of a rundown on what a lap is like on board.
Okay, this is going into turn one. I try and keep it quite wide. Try and get the apex on the inside here and drift it out, feeding the power on. Try and get it quite level here, try and get to the apex. Turning on the apex here, and feed it out and feed the power on. From here it's pretty flat out, going for the gears, third, fourth, fifth, eventually into sixth, probably in sixth gear about here, back's drifting out a little bit. Try and get it a little bit closer to the apex, that's always a bit early turning. And sort of feed it out, make sure that you get too wide here, it gets a bit slippery here. Now flat out, probably fifth gear now, back down to fourth, third, turning, the apex, feed it out, try not to go for the rumble strip here, it gets a bit messy. I try and do it quite tight. If you go nice and tight off six, you can sort of get the pound earlier on seven. Coming down to eight here, you've got to be a little bit careful, it's downhill, and on the brakes it easily gets slippery. Nice early apex, and then feed it out, try not to go to the rumble strip there. That's my lap.
After the break, we find out what's happening in the Inland Championship in 2016. The Inland Championship, or Northern Regions Racing as it was previously known, has been around for quite some time now. But the 2016 season brings it into a new dimension altogether. Our panel members will give us an idea of the rejuvenation of the Inland Championship and the goals going ahead. Justin, you've been involved in the marketing side of things and the promotion of a number of different categories and series. Tell us how things are going to be different in 2016.
Greg, I think our family and our business has been very involved in motorsport, and we've got a lot of passion for it. And through that passion and through that involvement, we've seen that the sport needs a lot of people that are prepared to put up their time, give up time to actually help the series and help the categories grow. And the more people like that we've got involved with different categories, that's what's making the regional side grow. So we've been fortunate that we've got a lot of assistance from a lot of other guys that are putting in time like ourselves, and the more sponsors we can get involved, the more coverage we can give back to the sport, the better the sport can grow. So that's what our aim is to make it grow as much as we can.
Well, as you say, I think the platform for this year certainly bodes well for the future and going forward. And with the team that you have alongside you, things definitely can only go from strength to strength. Moving over to Stuart McClarty. Stu, you've been involved in regional racing for many years and a stalwart of now Inland Championship racing. Tell us a bit more about your plans and where you see things going from here.
Well, Greg, I would say that this is probably the best thing we've had in the Inland Championships for probably the last 20 years. Our competitors are so overexcited about the developments, the amount of work that everybody's put into it. And I think this concept is going to be exciting for everybody in the Inland Championships. Super Saloons, modified production cars, SRA, or Silver Cup, you call it, anybody's going to be happy with it.
Well, I certainly think so. I mean, it's a new concept, it's a new dimension that we're taking Inland Championship racing to. We're taking it to the next level, and I think a lot of people are already sitting up and taking notice. Michael Broom, the new boy on the block, so to speak, representing the Bridgestone BMW Racing Club. You guys are coming into the championship this year as newcomers to the series. Tell us a bit more about your reasoning for coming into the championship and where you plan to take the series.
I think they've alluded to pretty much the message here is that we're making a contribution. So no category as a standalone makes Inland Championship. It's the group that works because there's a similarity in the way people view motorsport and the way people race and the way they treat each other off the track and the way they treat their sponsors and run the series and so forth as well. So yes, we bring a contribution, as does everybody else. And I think what we're going to see is the sum is going to be greater than the whole is going to be greater than the sum of all the parts. And that will make it work. And I think we've made a very big statement already in motorsport.
Quite right. As you say, I think a team effort being put in from all the categories across the board, all the various representatives are involved. And as we've said, throughout the year, we'll get the other representatives from the other categories involved as well. We'll have some interviews with them and some chats about the way forward and get the feel of how everyone's excitement continues to build with this amazing championship.
Yeah, it's only going to improve.
Michael Broom, before we watch the highlights of the two BMW races, you're the man on the inside. Can you give us an idea if Manny Ribeiro and his loan car sponsor, Ricky, are still friends after certain things happening?
I think their friendship's certainly been tested, but a good testament to how long they've been friends and to the general friendship in our series is that they run a little bit deeper than a bit of metal and rubber.
Well, that's always good to know. We look forward to seeing the action coming up next. And the first race of the day, the Bridgestone BMW Club Racing Series. A lovely aerial shot there of the grid, and start underway. Green light goes out and they are ready to race. Through turn one they go, and everyone's still jockeying for position. Manny Ribeiro diving up the inside of Carlo Garbini there. A little bit of an unorthodox line, but making it work. And Julian Familiaris, a great start there from him, out in front and really opening up a gap early on.
Julian disappeared, had a very good qualifying as well. Best qualifying lap of a 6.6.
Yeah, certainly a very good qualifying there for him, one of his best laps ever, and certainly is proving why. Jimmy Temenglo there, he's joined the series, and he had to start at the back of the grid and is trying to make his way through some of the slower Class D cars, but all fun and games there for him as well. Julian through our shot there and opening up that gap even more, and the rest of the field following through a little bit further behind. That's a nice shot there through turn 3, and Leon Wust being chased down by Rick Larea there.
And Dodd closely following as well. In a car that's slightly off pace, but with some development we'll get there.
No, it certainly will. You saw Mish Singh and the new youngster in the series, Cash Naika, busy chasing him down. That looks like Andreas Meyer busy retiring to the pits. We'll have to keep an eye on what's happening there. Nice shot there through turn 1 as well. Very different shots in this show, which you'll notice, and something we are really trying to innovate.
Absolutely, Greg. It's got to feel real, but it's got to be top class.
It certainly does. Craig Ball there, he's the man further back in the field in Class D, leading Class D there, and opening up a gap early on.
That case is giving Shane Grobler a good run. He also had a very consistent and good performing weekend.
Yeah, he certainly did. Shane got a few years of experience behind him, and for the youngster to be right up there with him certainly shows that he's got the pace.
And poor Dean Kendall stricken with a broken shock tower.
And Philip Smith buying a plot of land there through turn 1 and earning his Zwartkops stripes first time out, but no doubt he'll be back on the black stuff and finding a good rhythm again.
Kasnaika sporting a new type of exhaust, I see.
Yeah, it's the drop suspension exhaust. Seems to be working for him.
Not free low, free low, free flow, free low.
Oh, there's a bit of an incident there. That's Meyer coming out of the pits right in front of his teammate, and that might have cost his teammate a position. Indeed it has, because God has managed to get past him. So team orders there obviously not in play, and certainly not in Mish's favour that time round.
No, Greg, they're fighting in the same class, so equal track, equal grounds.
Certainly is. Dino Familiaris, great to see that car performing so well. He had such a dismal year last year, and it looks like they found a formula that works. Through the shot there, Andreas Meyer once again busy chasing down his teammate. He's going to be a lap down, but he definitely is on the same pace. Oh, and a bit of damage there to the front end of Manny's car. Obviously involved in an incident, and that possibly is the incident.
Carlo down. I think he turned Carlo around coming through the back markers.
Possibly a little bit of a love tap there for Carlo. He's going to have to play some catch up now.
Well, you know what they say, nothing's treated quite as badly as a rental.
Indeed. Rian Vos there being chased down by Gorbini now as he tries to recover and regain some positions. And Dodge managing to maintain that gap over Michal Singh. Mish certainly is trying hard. Oh, so is Gorbini. Just look at that. Very out of shape and sideways as he pushes the limits of the adhesion of those tyres.
He's done well to work his way back through the field, though. I mean, from coming right to the very back to where he is now. That's good driving.
Certainly is. Someone losing a piece of bodywork there, or some componentry.
Hopefully an indicator. He's no BMWs. You don't need them.
Gorbini now still chasing down. Well, it looks like he's passed Rian Vos. He has indeed. So Gorbini on a charge.
He's enjoying the power in that 3.8 turbo motor that's in there now.
He certainly is. It looks like Dodd's gone missing because Michal Singh in the picture there. The checkered flag comes out, and Julian Familiaris taking the first win of the day in Class A and overall. Manny Ribeiro in Class B, Michal Singh in Class C, and Craig Ball taking Class D. The start of the second race gets underway very quickly, and a charge down through turn one. Very different angle that, but very nice as well. And looks like Gorbini has got the whole shot and the inside line for turn two there. Dino Familiaris not doing a bad job there either, slotting into second place. But just look at Dodd.
Dodd pulled a move on them on the start line, caught them all napping and showed them a trick or two.
And Dodd's a class down on them as well. So incredible start there from Dodd. Now has Rick Larail all over his rear bumper. And Julian Familiaris, Rian Vos right there as well.
Rick's going to come under huge pressure now. With the inverted grid, he starts slightly ahead, but they will come charging for him.
Well, that's what I was just about to bring into the mix here, is that the second race is an inverted grid. So the slower guys start in front, or the guys that didn't have a good finish, like Gorbini, who's by no means slow. But the guys who may not have had a good finish will start in front, and the slow guys in front, and the faster guys at the back. And this makes for spectacular racing in race two, because it's a whole catch-up affair, and this is the kind of side-by-side action it brings.
Exactly that, Greg. It also means that you can't just go and win because you've got a faster car. You need to be able to drive it through traffic as well.
Exactly, and that's exactly what this category is about. You saw Bevan Mayer there being hassled there by Craig Ball, the race one winner in Class D, and Ball obviously trying to get to the sharp end of the field quite quickly.
Very impressed that Rick is keeping Rian behind him. A little E30 that doesn't have as much aerodynamic as what Rian's car's got. He's doing exceptionally well.
He certainly is, and it just goes to show that this kind of format really does work. Dino Familiaris, a little bit of smoke there coming out of their car. Hopefully it's...
Look, engine related, it looks more like a bit of body rub on the tyre.
Well, that's what I was going to say. They've got the newer, bigger tyres on this year, so maybe still a little bit of styling to do on the arches before they get those tyres fitting nicely.
Oh, that looks like Gorbini with a problem there.
It is. Gorbini out of the race, unfortunately, into retirement, and fuel pump problems there putting him out. But that has allowed a new race leader in the form of Dino Familiaris, a man who hasn't seen the front of the field in over a year. So great to see him up there and great to see him on pace.
I just hope that problem doesn't relinquish his pace a little bit and he can hold it there.
I certainly hope so as well. The battle-scarred G&H transport car there of Manny Ribeiro is rental, and certainly is driving it like a rental as well.
Wonderful to see a G&H car in the series, although not Janockers are not driving it. They've been great people to us and glad to have them along.
They certainly are, and definitely some of the best looking cars out there as well. So,
speaking of great looking cars, that Boxy is going to win the hearts of the crowds everywhere.
It certainly is. Certainly the Jaeger drinkers as well. But the car so nicely turned out in its new livery, new body kit. the wheels and definitely the power plant has put him right up near the front.
Still keeping Rian behind him.
It certainly is. Lorraine are really having a fantastic driver. He's a newcomer, considering he only joined late last year, and with the new setup in the car, he's taken to it like a duck to water.
I see he's trying to make a move here on Mish Singh.
Well, Jimmy doing well. The Big Boss Auto car is certainly pushing hard, and Jimmy not always racing in the series, so nice to see him up there in the top of his class and giving the guys what for.
I think what we will see through the year is that there'll be a lot of sharing between super.
Oh, Evan Mayer just losing the back end there.
Lovely news we got recently is Bevan Mayer's got Cedar Isle Auto as a sponsor for this year, so he's definitely confirmed for the whole season.
Oh, that's brilliant. Great news, because Bev certainly is a character on and off the track, and really nice to know he's going to be running the full year.
Absolutely.
A little bit of a traffic jam there coming through turn 6 and down the hill, but the guy's back on the gas again.
I see Manny's ahead of Dino now.
Indeed he is. Manny's managed to get past him somehow, and I wonder if that smoking problem isn't a slight loss of power.
He's got his cousin right behind him. Family or not, he's going to take every chance he can to get ahead.
Oh, bit of a spin there.
That's Eric Losbrook.
Yeah, Eric Losbrook lost the back end of his car.
That's why they call the car ever loose.
It certainly is ever loose. That was very loose in turn 2. Troy Cochran there, car looking really nice with a wing on this year, and they've done a lot of work on their car.
That's
Check it,
Manny,
flag comes up. Manny takes the win. Dino Familiaris being credited with Class A there, Manny in Class B. Jimmy Tamenglo taking Class C, and Craig Wald the Class D winner once again. Another exciting addition to the Inland Championship this season is the fact that we have an official pace car for all the categories, and that being supplied by the BMW Driving Experience. We caught up with them at Zwartkops before the first round of the year, and this is what they had to say.
Hi, my name is Christo Evangelo, and you find us here today at Turn 8 at Zwartkops Raceway in our brand new facility for the BMW Driving Experience as well as BMW Rider Academy. We offer to the public courses that enable them to not only enjoy their vehicles to the utmost in confidence by utilizing exceptional skills that were developed not only on the racetrack but out on public roads. Our courses range from defensive driving, on the road, mental skills, and is designed to allow participants to manage their risk as effectively as possible. We also offer skid pan training, which puts our participants in an emergency situation, and we then show them how to manage the vehicle as safely as possible. And then our most exciting program is conducted on the racetrack itself. It's the high performance program. To go along with our brand new facility, we've also upgraded our fleet of vehicles to the M3. So you can just imagine how amazing it would be to drive an M3 on Zwartkops Raceway. During the high performance program, we cover some core skills that would enable our participants really to have a fantastic time in maximum comfort, safety, and joy. We're also very proud to be a part of the BMW Car Club's race series, which is now participating in the Inland Championship, and we're actually providing one of our M3s to be the pace car. That's it from the car side. For those of people who have two wheels, the motorcyclists out there, we also have the BMW Rider Academy. They're also based here in the same building. And we have a range of courses to offer from the rider side. Right from novice training, never having ridden a motorcycle before, right up to our advanced cornering skills program, which is conducted on the racetrack. And then for the off-road people out there, we've got our off-road level 1 as well as level 2 training. And this is for those of you who have dual-purpose motorcycles, specifically the BMW GS.
When we come back, some spectacular action in the Big Boss Auto Super Saloons. Stuart McClarty, before we cross over to the Big Boss Auto Super Saloon footage, obviously we've seen a resurgence of the GTA category this year. Can you tell us more about that?
Well, I don't think there's any doubt that the GTA has grown for this event and will continue to get bigger throughout the year. I think what happened was a lot of the GTA competitors sat on the line for last year to see where it was going. With this type of marketing, this sort of show, the GTA members are back. And not only are they back, but we've got all the new talent that has joined them. We've got Devon, we've got CF Jr., we've got Amos Cochran Jr., we've got a whole new show on the go.
So the young blood against the old dogs, so to speak.
we've got the established guys, we've got Franco, we've got Ben, and then we've got Mackie Adlam coming back. We've got Roof du Plessis will be back again with us. I think we're looking for a fantastic year with GTAs. But let's be honest, GTAs need Super Saloons, Super Saloons need GTA.
Coming up next. Rolling Thunder charging down through turn 1 for the first race of the Big Boss Auto Super Saloons, and newcomer to the series, Siafari, putting it on pole and maintaining that gap through the first corner. The rest of the field filtering through turn 2, and nice big field here today. Willie Hepburn, the man there a little bit further back, he's trying to go up against the rest of GTA, although he is...
Willie's actually a GT2 car, yeah, he's a GT2 car, one of the original V8 modified saloon cars. So yeah, he's joining all the GTAs. In fact, he's challenging the GTAs.
He certainly is, and just look at Siafari opening up an early gap here as the new boy. Just look at Willie Hepburn on the onboard shot there, fighting that steering wheel, and just shows the old dog still has got plenty of tricks. Orford very slow out of turn 5 and's got a problem there, and Mackie Adlam and Willie getting past him in that move.
It looks like Fred Kruger's pulling up a bit of a problem there on the left as well. Yeah, there's Fred pulling over to the side. Pity, he had a stunning qualifying.
Yeah, he certainly did. A real disappointment for him, but hopefully they can get that car ready for the next race.
Yeah, Mackie Adlam's joined us as well. You'll see that fourth car in there. The Jaguar, he's just come back to the series, having a fantastic first heat.
Certainly is. Great to have Mackie back. He's certainly a man with much experience and certainly knows how to pedal a V8 as well. So really good to see him back in there. Larry Wolford in the yellow machine just behind them.
I must tell you, Adrien Dalton's come out with his Golf. First time out with Super Saloons, a turbo Golf, and he looks like he's having a ball as well.
He certainly is. Just look at the acceleration on that car. For a little Mark 1 Golf, that thing has got a real turn of speed.
And he's having a gem of a go.
Certainly is, and just watching Siafari just putting the power down there through turn 4. A little bit further back in the field, that's Romano Sartori having a fight there with, I think that's Gerard Fourie in the rotary. And JP looks like he's got some problems. JP Nokia in his V8, new car for him this year. And yeah, definitely some problems there for him.
Well, as you saw there, Ismail Peck was chasing down Jody Viana. They're leading out the outclass GT3. Yeah, they come. That's Jody in front and Ismail right behind him.
Yeah, Ishmael's right there as well. And both of them getting past JP Nokia. So Nokia looking set to retire, unfortunately. Dalton, the man in the Golf that we were talking about earlier, he certainly has got a good turn of speed. And big problems there for Eugene Goos. Looks like the engine's gone on that car. And let's hope he hasn't put down too much oil on the track.
That's going to be one of the loudest bangs I've heard from a car's motor in a long time.
Yeah, it certainly is. Eugene has got a V8 under that hood, and I think it is literally imploded. A very nice car that as well. Chris Hoy in his Renault. Certainly one of the nicest turned out vehicles, and great to see him on track as well.
Well, I think that's just proving Siaf's ability to come to grips with that car. You know, Siaf joined us first time out for this meeting, and then you see him leading out the field. Oh, he's got a problem.
He's got a problem. As we say that, the car slows, and Franco Mateo looks a bit confused. Also, kind of going at the same pace, realizes Siaf's got a problem, gets back on the gas, and that's allowed Ben and Mackie to close up on them as well.
Well, that certainly closed up the field. Obviously, Franco thought it was something else, and it allowed Ben and Mackie both to close in the gap there. Gerard Fourie got it sideways.
Yeah, Fourie having a bit of a moment there, catching himself out under braking, and was looking up the inside of Sartori. Didn't work that time round though. Ben and Franco now the leaders of this race, and Franco being hassled there by Morganwood. The old rivalry from last year has returned, and it certainly looks like these guys are going to give each other what for once again.
You can say that again. This should be a great last couple of laps with Ben and Franco tied together like that.
Certainly will be, and considering they're into the back markers as well, that's going to keep things really interesting. There's another nice car, the Corvette of young Amos Cockram. He's loaned that car for this particular race, but I hear talk that he might be looking at racing that for the full season. Checkered flag comes out and Franco takes the win.
The race went very well, actually. Siaf actually pulled the gap on me. I was surprised in it, first time out. He drove like a champ, he didn't put one foot wrong. He kept the car on the black, and I just couldn't make up. And then suddenly he just slowed down, and I thought it was a red flag coming out, something happened. And meantime, something went wrong with his car, and I overtook him and I won the race. Yeah, we started off with a good bang, so let's see what happens, eh?
Well, I don't know. We're going to see if we can fix it for the second heat. as we went through turn 3, through the sweep, we wanted to go to third gear and everything, there was just no gear. So it's either the clutch or the gearbox, but we're not sure. We'll have a look now. But the car was on. I mean, the car was on rails. We could just, it was so nice to drive the car handled, everything was good. So yeah, hopefully we can get it back for the second heat.
Franco de Mateo taking GTA, Willie Hepburn GT2, Jody Viana GT3, Chris Hoy GT4, and Jimmy Tsiminglu taking GT5. The second race underway now, and a charge down through turn 1 early on, and with the reverse grid, Mackie Adlam taking the lead there ahead of the rest of the field. Looks like Ben's up to second already, with Willie slotting into third position.
Greg, it's not actually a reverse grid. What happened there was Sef didn't make the start. He's still in the pits working on his car, so it's actually just the fact that he wasn't on the grid.
Well, certainly causing confusion, but nice to know that the guys that are meant to be there are right up front. And just look at that little battle further back as well. Chris Hoy, Adrien Dalton, and I think that might have been Faria as well.
But I think we've got a new convert to Super Saloons where Adrian's having fun in that Golf.
Yeah, he certainly is. Hopefully we'll see a lot more of him. He certainly adds a nice little bit of flavour to the mix, as does Mackie Adlam, the man out in front, opening up that gap on Ben Morganrud and the rest of the chasing pack already. And there's Darroch in new colours this year. Nice to see him out there as well.
Giles joined us for the GT5 class just to get some seat time.
Good to see him out there as well. And just look how quickly these GTAs get through turn 3 and down the back straight. Really, really quick cars. And looks like Terry Wolford is now up to third position, getting past Willie and starting to find some form.
I think it's time to keep an eye on Terry Wolford. He's actually having one of his better events. Look how he's closed up on Ben at this point there. Yeah.
Well, closed up on him, got alongside him, and challenging for that position in a big way.
Youngster Wolford's only having a gem of an event there.
Certainly is. He had a bit of bad luck in race 1, but he certainly means business this time around, and on the absolute limit, driving the socks off of that car and pushing through every corner to try and stay with the wily old fox ahead of him.
And keep an eye on Willie. He's not far behind those front cars.
No, he certainly isn't. And once again, this little battle resumes between Sartori and Viana in that rotary, certainly giving the V8 one for all. Big drama here, major fire there for Chris Hoy, and he's quickly out of the car. The red flag's going to come out, and the marshals quickly in attendance trying to get that fire out. Not too sure what went wrong there. It could have been electrical, could have been fuel, but the car's burning so badly now. Unfortunately, the extinguishers not strong enough to put that fire out, and it just spread so quickly through their car. Unfortunately, that car is going to burn out and be an absolute write-off. The important thing though is that Chris is okay. He managed to get out of that.
There was an electrical short. I noticed a spark, and then in the next moment flames coming from under the dash. I tried to stop as quickly as possible and jump out, because I knew if I stayed too long in the car I'd probably catch a light and die. As I stopped and jumped out, the flames came through my helmet and burned me a little bit in the face, so I was in the nick of time.
And as they clear their car, the restart happens, and Mackie Adlam back into P1 once again with Ben and Co right behind them. Double wave yellows through turn 1, so no overtaking. Racing starts right now out of turn 2. And look at Ben early on already showing his nose and trying to find a way past Mackie Adlam. Mackie says, no ways, old man. Closes the door on him, and Siafari back in it, so they got his car up and running.
Yeah, here's a good one. Siaf's joined in from the back of the field. Oh, Carl Stoll's having a bit of an off there.
Yeah, big off there from one of the rotaries. And he gets back on, albeit a little bit slowly, but hopefully he will be able to keep it on the black stuff this time around. Mackie out in front though, opening up a gap here, and Terry means business once again.
And little Amos Cochran there with the Corvette, he's also getting to grips with that car. Certainly closing the gap, but look at Willie, he's hanging on.
Willie is hanging on, but as you say, young Cochran Jr. really coming to grips with the Corvette early on and having a good race. Siaf trying to play catch up and using every bit of the circuit and more.
Now, Willie will never give up. You can just see it. He's on his way.
Yeah, he certainly is pushing Terry there and trying to stay with those quicker GTA class cars. But that old car of his certainly has a good turn of speed.
Greg, I see, unfortunately, here we're missing Franco. He's not in the front pack now. He pulled out with mechanical difficulties.
Yeah, certainly very unusual for Franco. He's normally Mr. Reliability. And once again, the very same RX-7 rotary into the kitty litter in turn 2 this time round, but he gets going again. Back to the action though, and that is the battle for second place. Willie's going to have a look up the inside. Oh, and they tangle. And Willie and Ben Morganrud, I think Willie might have outbraked himself up the inside. Terry saw it coming, gave him room, and he hit Ben, and both of them into the kitty litter. Ben's got going again. Willie's still stuck in the kitty litter there, but should get going soon, and that he does. I don't think he's going to be too popular with Mr. Morganrud though.
I think Willie just got onto the loose stuff, and that was that.
Checkered flag out.
Oh, happy with the second heat. Unfortunately, the first heat, overtaking Mackie, broke a side shaft. That was the end of that, and then fixed it, got it ready for race 2, and yeah, I think we started at 8th or something like that, and managed to work my way up to second, and I managed to stay out of trouble for a change, you know.
There, Mackie Adlin taking GTA, Willie Hepburn GT2, Jody Viana GT3 once again, Adrien Dalton GT4, and Jimmy Tsminglu taking GT5. Things are getting a bit hot. I think we're going to cool that down with an ad break. Stuart, before we cross over to the Yokohama NPC and SRA coverage, we've seen a little bit of a resurgence of the SRA category this year. Can you maybe give us an idea of what's been happening behind the scenes?
Again, it's a similar thing. SRA are back with us in force with the NPCs this year. Wayne Stout has been the driving force behind that. Compliments must go to Wayne. He's brought a lot of the SRA competitors back to us. Mario Nardini, Fritz Kleinhans, they're back with us. And of course, we've got the normal NPC group. We've got JDM Honda, we've got Jeff Langeveld, Dirk Lawrence. The NPCs are there, not to mention Adrien Dalton, who will always be a challenge in his Class B car.
Indeed he will. As you've mentioned those names, obviously a couple of new guys coming into the series as well, adding some new flavour and new flair, and I think it bodes well for the 2016 season.
I think that's the thing about NPC. It's always going to be a starter class, or it's one of the better starter classes. Brings in new blood all the time, and then there's the people that just need seat time from other categories that use NPC as well. It's great for us.
Certainly is great. We're going to catch up with the action on track now. Pre-race there for the Yokohama NPC and SRA, and into their first race, Jeff Langeveld grabbing the whole shot there through turn 2 and getting away a little bit there from Dirk Lawrence and the Ellis brothers. The SRA field filtering through there, Fritz Kleinhans and Mario Nardini being followed there by Stuart McClarty. Here we are, Adrien Dalton just having a look down the inside there of Ian Ellis, and those boys certainly do like to pedal their VW machines, as does Adrien Dalton, and nice to see him playing around there with these boys as well. Yeah, Kevin, a nice little slide there, holding it well. On board with Dirk Lawrence now as he goes through turn 1 and is chasing down our current race leader, Jeff Langeveld. Oh, having a bit of a look up the inside there. Couldn't quite make it stick, but Jeff certainly holding his own, and that's a driver who really has come of age in his own right over the last year.
Dirk's loving this class, always has done, and now with Jeff joining us, great one.
Certainly is, and a big moment there for one of the competitors a little bit further back, just getting all sorts of out of shape through turn 4, and Dirk, big turn of speed out of turn 3, and just, well, makes Jeff look like he's looking for parking. And that's the reason why. Jeff's got some issues there. It looks like an electrical problem for him. He's trying to reset the car, and oh, that's got to be so frustrating. He was doing so well, and the electrics have let him down. Back onto the straight now, and that's Rowan Ellis trying to get past Jeff, who's stranded once again. The car seems to be going into limp mode and just losing all the power, but no such worries for that man out in front, Dirk Lawrence. And Ian Ellis off the circuit. That looks like turn 4 possibly, or turn 2, and looks like he's going to go the long way around on the grass to try and get back onto the black stuff. Back to the action though, and looks like Langeveld is trying to stay there. That's Fritz Kleinhans, a little bit further back in the SRA. Oh, and he just avoids another spinning moment there from Miller, getting very sideways in turn 4. Obviously a little bit of setup needed on that car, and Miller having a lot of fun there. But the action now is between Rowan Ellis and Jeff Langeveld, and it looks like Langeveld has managed to get that car back up to running pace. Yeah, it certainly is great to have the SRAs there. Nice to see that the field is slowly but surely busy growing. Jeff Langeveldt having a good one here as well, as he seems to have sorted his problems out. He's got past Rowan Ehlers and is really on a charge. Kurbis, lots of smoke there coming out of his car. To them, and there's the father and daughter team of Kaylin busy chasing her father down at the moment, and that looks like Langeveldt, who's about to lap them as well. Langeveldt really starting to get away from Ehlers there, so obviously his problems are well sorted. Oh, McClarty had a bit of a moment there and just tagged the side of Kurbis, and it looks like McClarty's got some problems there as well. Checkered flag comes out and we pick up with Jeff Langeveldt.
Not exactly all 100% happy when we started off on pole, and then we had a bit of an electrical gremlin on board, but well done to my teammate Dirk, and we'll sort it out and get ready for round number 2. Looking forward to it.
Yes, it went very well. We started quite a way back from the NPCs, so it gave us a lot of room to maneuver, and the car went very well. The track is a lot less slipperier than yesterday, a lot more rubber on the track, so we could put foot down and keep it down. Yeah, it went well.
Lawrence taking NPC A, Adrien Dalton NPC B, Caleb Miller NPC C, Fritz Kleinans SRA, and Stuart McClarty SRB. Race 2 underway, and a nice start here from the field as they charge down into turn 1, and a good start here once again from Langeveldt. Getting ahead of Dirk Lawrence, very important there. We know Dirk is really quick and even more impossible to get past once he's in that lead. So Langeveldt wanted that whole shot desperately and has done a good job. The SRA is a little bit further back, and that looks like Nardini.
Mario Nardini's actually got it ahead of Fritz.
Yeah.
And look at Dalton, he's sitting there in 3rd place overall.
Indeed he is. He's got ahead of the Ehlers brothers at the start of the second race, and is definitely going to be looking at chasing those 2 Hondas.
Got the 2 Elias brothers catching up there slowly. They're in Class A, so they're going to chase down Adrien as best they can.
No, they certainly will. Just looking at the gaggle of cars behind him as well. That's Simon, newcomer Benningfield, and Van Niekerk not too far behind them either. But Langeveldt really pushing hard here. You can see him working the wheel there as he comes through.
Has he got a point to prove after being beaten in Heat 1?
Certainly does, and he's trying to make up for the disappointment of Heat 1, and certainly is driving like a real champ.
The Elias boys, Golf and Polo, they've got to be 2 of the neatest cars.
And that little aerial view showed the pass there from Lawrence. He just seems to get so much speed coming out of turn 2 and into 3, and he made the move through that turn 3 sweep to take the lead. Van Niekerk a little bit further back, having a nice race there as well, being chased down by Miller in the Ford Icon. And there is Mario Nardini getting amongst the back of the NPC field as well. Oh, it looks like Langeveldt managed to get ahead of Lawrence once again temporarily, but that looks short-lived because Lawrence once again getting past him down the inside.
Almost looks like a bit of a team orders scenario there.
One would think so, but we definitely know there are no team orders in that team. I'm just wondering if Langeveldt doesn't have the same problem. That's Kurbis van Rooyen in shot there as he goes through a little bit further back, but having a good race. And this is Lawrence. Just look at the way he's working that wheel, and that car really, really quick, and that man knows how to drive a quick car. Dalton there closing in on Langeveldt as well, so the guys are going to have to start worrying a little bit on their positions at this stage in the race. Going to need to push a little bit harder. And 2 guys that are pushing hard, Simon and Van Niekerk, and Fritz Kleinans out. So Fritz Kleinans into retirement with some problems there. Oh, and Ricky Rogerio having a moment, losing the back end of his Polo, and looks like he might get going again, back on the gas very quickly and through the kitty litter. Hopefully he won't rejoin in front of the rest of the field as they go through, and Langeveldt still being chased down by Dalton. Nardini now in the lead of the SRAs and amongst the NPCs now as well as he continues to climb through the field. Oh, another moment there for Rogerio. I think dirty tyres maybe not being taken into consideration there. You can see the dirt and sand coming out the car, and yeah, certainly tricky to drive a car with dirty tyres like that. Kaylin once again ahead of her dad, so the young lady certainly driving the socks off of that icon of hers and giving dad a little bit of a driving lesson. checkered flag comes out though, and Dirk Lawrence taking the win.
Very happy, 2 first places for the day. Car's running exceptionally well. Thank you to Gideon and to Jakes from JDM and my own preparation. So yeah, I'm very chuffed. Let's hope it continues like that.
It was hard in the second heat because I'd run out of brakes halfway through the race, and then towards the end I ran out of clutch as well. And eventually, after the last 2-3 laps, I just slowed down completely, and I was actually out of breath towards the end.
After the break, we wrap up the show with the Liqui-Moly Inex Legends Championship. Justin Robertson, very involved in Legends yourself, and obviously various factors that define Legends as a different category to the other series. One of those being the fact that you do not do qualifying. Can you give us an idea of what the thinking is behind that and how it all works out?
The whole concept of a legend is it's an international class. So wherever they race in the world, they run to the same rules. Basically being a cup series where every car is exactly the same, comes down to driver talent. So the concept behind the way that they do the grid is that you draw, you then invert the grid for the second heat, okay? Meaning that each driver has an opportunity to start from front or back or middle. And then the driver that scores the most points for the day, he goes to the back for the final. Giving the guys that might have had mishaps during the first and the second heat, they can then start near the front, so they can still have a good point score for the day. The guys that had the most points have got to start from the back. If they're the faster drivers, they're going to get through the pack, making for good close racing.
Well, we look forward to catching up on the action coming up next. First race of the Inex Legends Championship, and down to turn 1 they go. A ball draw here deciding the grid, and certainly mixes up the racing really nicely here. On board with Sean Nell now as they head out of turn 2, and that's Steve Nell, his father, that he's chasing down there. But just look at the way the guys are jockeying down the back straight here, and Divan Myberg taking an early lead ahead of Justin Robertson. Sief Fourie there as well as Anru Stadler. And looked like Llewellyn Myberg not too far behind them as well. But Divan has opened up a massive gap early on in this race. He's got the clear air ahead of him, and he's just got his head down to go. Justin there in second spot, and that is the voice alongside me now on board with Justin.
Hi Greg, the way that the draw works with the slow guys being mixed up with the fast guys, it really puts a different mix into this field. It's not working on qualifying like most of the other classes, so it makes it very interesting to try and get through all the traffic in the first few laps.
Certainly does, at least for exciting racing, and some of the faster guys very often are starting towards the back of the field, and it keeps the racing real. And when you have a look at it, sometimes 3-4 abreast through some of the corners, the Legends racing, certainly these guys know what they're doing, and they really race their hearts out.
You can see how hard some of them are trying when you see the back of them sliding all over. Those cars move around a lot, and on this particular day the track was actually quite oily as well, so you'll see them moving around more than usual as well. So it was quite tricky situations for them.
Oh, a bit of a moment there for our newcomer, car number 88, and he just finds himself just avoiding the barriers there. A little bit further back, our two youngsters, Keegan Vessels and Lonica Martins, busy fighting for position there. Keegan this year is a pro and Lonica a semi-pro. She's moved up from the Young Lions, so the young lady doing really well. That man there also doing well. First time out in the Legend, that's Amos Cochran Jr. and having a good race. Looks like Llewellyn's got a problem, hand out the window and allowing the rest of the traffic to pass him. And unfortunately that was the first of many problems for him on the day. Young Clinton Bezuidenhout in shot there as he chases, I think that's a battle for fourth, and he started at the back of the field as a young lion and has already made his way right up to the top 5.
Again, like you say, through the middle of the pack you see a lot of good dices because the fast guys are still trying to get through, and the way these things move around, it's also often very difficult to get past the guys because coming out of the corner, the back sliding all over the place, making it really hard.
Certainly is, but it makes it really exciting as well, and a nice shot there of you in your new sponsor colours as well, being chased down there by Sief and Anru, and you really were having a good race.
We actually had a very good day. We went out to go and practice the week before, make sure that our setup was right for the track. So we did a lot of preparation for that weekend. We wanted to make sure we were on pace for the year.
Checkered flag comes out, and taking the first win of the day there was Devon by a long way. Justin finishing in second spot, followed by Anu Stadler in third, Seferi, Clinton Bezadenot and Keegan Vessels rounding out the top 6. Getting ready for race 2, and a nice aerial view here of the grid. Once again, another split, reverse grid, and just look at that. 3x3 into turn 1, and they fan out to 5 abreast into 2, and a bit of a touch there. It looks like one of the guys going up the back end of Johan van Deventer's car, and that is our newcomer once again, really having a baptism of fire in this event.
Look, I think these things are really something to get used to for the guys that haven't raced them before, and a lot of the guys just move around when it comes to the start.
Safety car out, obviously, for that stranded car, but I don't think everyone's seen. Just look at that, 3 cars abreast through some of the corners. Sef's got his hand out, but the other guys behind him are still racing. That's young Bezadenot, Nel busy racing on full ball there, and let's just hope that everyone has seen and realizes that they need to slow the pace down somewhat. Oh, and they haven't, because that is Anu Stadler and Johan van Deventer, who have a big collision there. On board with Stadler now, they touch, very hard into the wall, and not a nice thing to see at all. Red flag's going to come out, and they're going to have to clear up that debris. At the restart though, it is young Keegan Vessels who gets the whole shot there, ahead of Sean Nell and Darby in third position there from the look of it, yeah?
Yeah, it was Darby Free heading into the start there. Again, nice close field, tight, everybody trying to squeeze through, and the faster guys are fighting through the slow markers again as well. The good thing to this though is it gets all the guys that are a little bit slower on pace, they pick up pace quite quickly because they've normally got fast guys around them to chase.
Yeah, they certainly do, and just watching some of those corners, that's Mornay Scholes having a bit of a moment through turn 1, but he gets back up and running, and just look at this, that's Devon Marburg on the inside of Sef, and a little bit of action further back there, that's Johnny De Cavallo in his new coloured car. Nice to see him back out and back with the series, just still finding his legs though. And looks like Darby ran a little bit wide, outbraking himself, but young Keegan out in front, and things looking really good for him. He's had a good start, but watch that man in second place. Devon Marburg's catching him at a rapid rate of knots.
Devon, I think, had also done a lot of preparation for the weekend. They're determined to make a good run for this year as well. So they've been out doing a lot of practicing and a lot of work, and definitely going fast.
Yeah, they certainly are. Keegan, we know, is a good talent, and the car is certainly working well with him this time around as well. Steve Null had a moment there earlier on, but he's managed to get it back on the black stuff. And another man on the black stuff is that man there, Darby. He was battling a little bit earlier, but seems to be finding his legs once again. Fred Else, big sideways moment there from him, and a little bit of legends drifting.
Fred was trying extremely hard. He was talking about weights and talking about things, but I think he was just trying too hard on the weekend, and he was all over the place, getting the back loose off and out of the corners.
Certainly very spectacular. The checkered flag comes out, and Devon Marburg taking the win there ahead of young Keegan Vessels. Justin Robertson in third, Sean Nell fourth, Veronica Martins in a very good fifth position there ahead of Anton Repsold. Race 3 underway, and Mornay Stolz, the man out in front, Seferi there right behind him as well. Sef all over their back bumper, trying to find a way past the rest of the field, filtering through there through turn 3 and into 4. And we've lost a few cars obviously, but still a very big field here compared to some of the other categories, and some fantastic racing as always as the Foster guys start making their way through. Sef has gone into the lead now ahead of Stolz, and Fred Else there in third place, although not for long, because look at that late braking from Steve. Brilliant braking from Steve actually to get himself to third. Some really good driving there, and the ex-Franco de Matteo car really seems to suit his driving style, and he's finding some good reliability out of that car for a change. Just watching them as they come down the hill into turn 8 now. There's Devon Marburg, that's the man you need to watch. He's taken 2 wins already, and is going to be looking for a third one here as well. Stolz managed to get ahead of Seferi there, and Justin just battling at the back there with some of the back markers, just maybe driving a little bit wide through some of the corners. Sef now has managed to get back past Mornay, and power sliding it through turn 4 to try and build up a little bit of a lead there. Devon now into third position, and this field really is changing position on almost every corner, never mind every lap.
I must say that final heat, the way that the sun was lying when we were going into turn 2, and coming up the hill, the light was very, very bad. So it was actually quite difficult to see a lot of the time where you were going.
I can only imagine. And then in turn 2, you've got to deal with that cement dust as well, which makes it even more trickier. But, well, everyone's still on track and pushing hard here. There's Justin starting to make his way through the field, getting past Lonica. Lonica is trying to stay with him now because she knows she can get a good draft from him if she stays there. And things looking really good. Fred Else holding his own up there for a change. Seems to be having a better race here in the third heat. But look at the action at going through turn 4. That's Keegan Vessels busy chasing the leaders down.
The leaders have got a good lead out on the rest of the pack. They had got through to the front and got out.
Oh, Darby having a moment there and taking Fred out and almost taking himself out. Both of them get going very quickly. As I say that, Darby seems to be battling a bit, but Fred is going to be fuming after that one. But there is our race leader, Devon Marburg, leading the race once again ahead of Siafari, and he is determined to make it 3 out of 3. Mornay Stolz having a much better race this time around as well, keeping it on the black stuff and keeping it in a nicely competitive position as well. That being said, Justin Robertson and Lonica Martins closing in on him very quickly. Through turn 2, our race leaders go now, and there's Young Vessels in third position. Not too far behind them. He really is trying hard, and he's actually had a pretty good day in that new car of his.
I think that's Keegan's best result for the day ever, for Legends ever. He was having a really good day and coming on with the car nicely after each heat.
Yeah, he certainly was. Devon Marburg down the hill now, and I think this might be the last time through turn 8. But he has had a sterling day. Checkered flag comes out, and 3 out of 3 for Devon Marburg there. Siafari in second, Keegan Vessels third, Justin Robertson fourth, Lonica Martins fifth, and Mornay Stolz a very respectable 6th position for him. Justin, we often see Liqui Moly advertising on various race cars and involved in various series. Can you tell us a little bit more about the brand?
Well, Liqui Moly is a product that's engineered and manufactured in Germany. Okay, they carry a very extensive range of oils, additives, and car care products. They basically cater for different ranges. So they have a range for racing, they have a range for agricultural use, commercial use, and a lot of the industrial uses. Basically any lubrication product that's needed, they'll have a product range that will cover that. Okay. What we've done today is we brought a hamper with that we'd be able to give away to a viewer, okay, which would cover a lot of what we use in the race cars. Okay, this is a 10W60 oil. It's 5 litre of oil that we use. Okay, together with that we use a product that's called Ceratec. Ceratec is actually a friction reducing product. Okay, we put it into the oil, and what it does, it reduces the temperature inside the engine. So it makes the engine last longer, makes the engine run better, and those type of things. So a lot of their products have got specific purposes that they're designed for. Okay, like you'll see over here, they've got an Octane Plus. That's to lift the octane in the fuel. We put that together with the Speed Tech, which will get a car to perform better. Okay, it means that the fuel and the spark enhances. Okay, it gives it better combustion, gives it better burning. So with a wide range of products, they can basically cover any lubrication need that a race car will need or a farmer will need.
Well, it just goes to show that proven reliability, proven performance, and Liqui Moly is the way to go.
Definitely the way to go. So we've got a hamper. This hamper over here is to give away to a lucky viewer. Okay. What the guys must do is you can enter by going on to info@bigbossauto.co.za, send in your entry, tell us where Liqui Moly is made, and we'll announce the winner on the Inland Championship Facebook page.
We trust that you've enjoyed the first show. The next round will be held at the Pakisa Freeway on the 2nd of April. And remember, this is Real People, Real Racing.